Happy May 2nd, every April 2nd, everybody. I'm a month ahead of myself. Happy April 2nd, 2014. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health, welcoming you to another live edition of Fire Your MD Now, which we mean in all earnestness and in all good faith. If your plumber told you that water was a figment of your imagination and didn't believe in water and wanted to have nothing to do with anything that had to do with water, you would fire your plumber, right? Well, if your plumber believed in water but used plastic straws taped together to plumb your house for water, well, that wouldn't work very well, and you'd fire him too. The reason we advocate firing your MD is because the therapeutics that your MDs are trained in, are specific to a very small subset of the greater field of medical science, and the subset to which the MD should be relegated is trauma care, surgery when it's absolutely necessary, and a handful of infectious diseases, because the philosophy of medicine and the treatment strategies that MDs are trained in are completely wrong, dangerous, and ineffective, and unbelievably expensive when it comes to the intervention with a chronic disease. Your MD is the worst person to go to if you are suffering with a chronic disease. They're a good person to go to if you have a broken bone or a burn or a bullet in the arm or a laceration, right? But if you're suffering with a heart condition, an asthmatic condition, a kidney condition, a bone and joint condition, a blood sugar condition, a mental condition, they are the last people you should go to, the last people you should go to, because their therapeutics are based upon the ridiculous notion that the human body does not have the ability to fix itself, and it may interest you to know that your MD is not concerned with how to cure disease. They're only trained how to manage disease with symptom-suppressive, man-made synthetic pharmaceutical medicines. Now, we're not opposed to synthetic pharmaceutical medicines. We're advocates of them when they're properly used. You need the right dog for the hunt. It ain't the gun, it's how it's used. It ain't the drug, it's how it's used. Well, when MDs use drug for chronic disease, even for acute disease, quite frankly, their therapeutics are the leading cause of death in the United States, the leading cause of death. So this is why we advocate you fire your medical doctor, because when it comes to chronic disease, they are no better than a plumber using straws instead of copper or PVC to plumb your house. It's a fool's errand. It's only a matter of time before it fails and things get remarkably worse. Now, we're involved, of course, with Youngevity. We support the Youngevity Corporation and its dissemination, amongst other things, of the founder of Youngevity's, Dr. Joel Wallach, his medical nutrition health recovery protocols. That's what we disseminate here through the agency of Youngevity, which is a network marketing company. Thank God. Hallelujah. Finally, a network marketing company rises from, all the others and actually does some good in the world. We're advocates of Youngevity because if you become a Youngevity member and help us, then we will pay you handsomely to help spread our grassroots message of health recovery through science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. There's less than 200 licensed naturopathic physicians in the entire world that have more than 20 years of clinical experience. I'm one of them. Dr. Wallach's one of them. There just aren't enough of us to go around, and everybody needs to know what we know. Nobody does. And if everybody did know what we know, human suffering would be cut off at the knees. Now, do we have panacea protocols which are cure-alls for ailment to ever afflict humankind? No, we don't profess that. But what we do have are science-based, clinically verified. Science-based, clinically verified. That means these therapeutics were based on some type of scientific reasoning. Some type of scientific reasoning went into the formulation of our health recovery strategies. And then we apply them clinically with real patients in real settings as licensed and regulated physicians, naturopathic physicians. We're currently licensed and regulated in 17 states. Maryland was the latest to join us, I believe. If the governor signed the bill, we're good to go in Maryland. So what we bring to the table as an alternative to your MD's strategies, which quite frankly for chronic disease are barbaric, what we bring to the table are an entirely different set of problem-solving tools, an entirely different set of problem-solving tools. We bring to the table the naturopathic perspective, and which is based in science and then which is proved clinically. Well, we think this would be a good idea to give somebody if they're suffering with a bone or a joint problem, and here's the science that informs that, here's the biochemistry that informs that. Now let's go ahead and do it and see what happens, and what do you know? Hallelujah, and pass the hat. It works. But because my profession is in the minority, because the American Medical Association hates us, because the pharmaceutical industry does not want you to know about us, you don't know about us. Imagine that. And my profession, of course, is only licensed and regulated now in 17 states. That means in 38 states, you don't have access to science-based, clinically verified naturopathic health recovery therapeutics. You just don't. So in order to fill in the void here, in order to bridge the treatment gap, bridge the knowledge gap, we're generating a grassroots coalition. So your next-door neighbor hears me on the radio and hears me talking about what to do to support and promote healthy blood pressure. Your next-door neighbor has high blood pressure. Your next-door neighbor calls into the show, meets a longevity representative, goes online, finds us somehow, and we give them advice for free, by the way. The advice is free. No insurance copays, no consultation fees. That's not bad, is it? We tell them what to do, not to treat arthritis, but what to do to support and promote their body's ability to have strong and healthy joints. We advise them what to do to secure healthy joints, and they follow our advice. Guess what? The joint pain disappears, goes away. It isn't there anymore. So what are they going to do? Are they going to, lock themselves at home and lock the door and bar the windows and pull the shades and not tell anybody? No. They're going to tell everybody in their life about it. And the beauty of this situation is that we will pay them to do what they would do for free, because they're going to tell people about their positive results. They're going to tell people about their negative results. They're going to tell people what happened. And we will pay them to tell people about longevity. And they would do that for free. So this is really a perfect business opportunity for those of you who are struggling to meet your monthly mortgage payments, for those of you whose job has been downsized or outsourced, for those of you who are, you've hit the glass ceiling and there's no more room to go, there's no more room to grow. For those of you, with kids in college and you didn't have enough money to put in that college savings fund, and now what are you going to do? Well, you need more cash, baby. Well, join Longevity. Become a Longevity member. There's 2 ways to interface with Longevity. Well, there's 3 ways. You can interface as a customer. You don't even have to become a member. You just interface as a customer. Get our health recovery protocols at the wholesale price, the products at the wholesale price. And that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Or you can join us, and there's 2 levels of membership. A $10 membership, $10, one time only. Don't know if it's right for you, just want to, drive it around the block, kick the tires, slam the doors. Come on in for a $10 one-time membership fee, and we'll teach you how to do it. If you've felt or seen the efficacy here, if you feel the truth that we're speaking, if it resonates with you, and if you just want to go all in right from the start, then join us at the top level, the second level, the CEO level. It's $500 one-time membership fee, for which, by the way, you get $500 worth of product. So, with which you can immediately start sampling stuff that you can immediately use to start building your business. And we will show you the ropes, show you how to do it. And this is how we're going to change the world. Because, for goodness sake, when, one person recovers from high blood pressure, or their arthritic knees and joints are all of a sudden no longer a problem, and that's one thing. When 10 people recover, that's another thing. When 100 people recover, well, that's getting there. When 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 people recover from that, that's a game changer. There is a point in time in which this message will reach the breaking point, will reach the next level, and then it's all over from there, but the singing. Kind of like a jet plane taking off, a big jumbo bumbo jet, right? You ever seen those things? I travel a lot, and oh my God, I've been on the highway in the runway in a little 737, cruising past those giant planes. Oh my God, they're so big. It's unbelievable when you're up close next to them. How does that get off the ground? Well, that baby starts to take off. It's on the runway for a long time. Picking up speed, baby, picking up speed. The whole plane is still on the runway. What the heck? And then, still picking up speed, and then the nose lifts off a little bit, but the plane is still on the runway. What's going on? Then boom, boom, all of a sudden, it's up in the air, 3,000 feet in the air in 10 seconds. Boom, just like that. Well, that's how longevity is going to go. A 17-year overnight success. Boom, it's going to go just like that. It's going to happen quickly. This is going to happen quickly within the next couple of years because we're reaching the point of the 100th monkey, where so many people have experienced it that it becomes an international phenomenon. So don't wait. You ride the crest of the wave now before it breaks onto the shore. Get on board now. The sooner you get into a network marketing business, the bigger your profits are. Get in now while the getting is good. Want to come on in? Want to join Team Glidden? Well, if you were directed here through your own volition, go to my website, fireyourmdnow.com, click on the Join Team Glidden button. If another longevity member directed you here or told you about it, get with them and let them show you how to do it. Stick around. Hey, everybody, that's longevity to the rescue. That's right. That's how we do it. One life at a time. One big bowl of strife at a time. You set it up, we knock it down. And how do you measure success? Well, it's easy to measure success in longevity because the company has different ranks. And you advance in rank as your business grows, and it's a specific and measurable phenomenon. There are very specific ranks that longevity members can attain or not, and guess what? The bigger your rank, the bigger your paycheck, and the bigger your bonuses are, and life gets better and better. And it's just like any other job. As you advance up the corporate ladder, as you advance up, the workforce inside your company, the company that you work for, the perks are better, the pay is better, everything gets better. That's why, we want to get better. That's why everybody is looking to, get a little higher on the ladder. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, a great big shout out to Team Glidden, Alberta, Corey Propp, and Sean Fournier just today advanced to the second rank from the top. The second rank from the top in longevity. And that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. That is quite an accomplishment, ladies and gentlemen. Quite an accomplishment. The rank that they reached, Vice Chairman Marketing Director. There's only one step above that, Senior Vice Chairman Marketing Director. Vice Chairman Marketing Director, that's a remarkable accomplishment. It's a remarkable accomplishment. Great job, Sean and Corey and Sean. You guys are really taking it to the next level. Actually, you know what you're doing is grinding out the longevity business every day, hour a day, hour and a half a day, 2 hours a day. That's all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, to have a successful longevity business. Everybody says, oh yeah, I'd love to do an extra business from home part-time. Well, great. I'd love it if people did a longevity business part-time. Most people do it sometime. They don't do it part-time. They do it whenever the heck they feel like it. But if you treat it like a business, if you work like Sean and Corey and lots of other distributors in Canada who are nipping at their heels, by the way, nipping at their heels, Mike Phillip, nipping at the heels. If you do it appropriately, put your mind to it, put your determination to it, will yourself to the task just an hour a day, you're going to succeed. 2 hours a day, you're going to succeed faster. 8 hours a day, you're going to be a champion. You're going to be a champion. And you are going to have the adoration of an entire nation. That's Longevity Nation. Because we track results. Results are everything. You know, it ain't over till the fat lady sings, right? Well, with longevity, it ain't over until you rank advance. And you rank advance all the way to the top. And by the way, let's not overlook the obvious. One of the longevity's biggest earners, Blake Graham from Utah, he's been following Dr. Wallach for 17 years. Blake and his partner Todd, when they came into longevity, were students of network marketing, and they were looking for a network marketing. Specifically, they were looking for a network marketing business to attach themselves to. Well, they found Dr. Wallach. They saw the wisdom and the approach, and they attached themselves to longevity, to the network marketing business strategy of longevity, and now they're part of the multi-million-dollar club. They've earned multiples of millions of dollars through longevity over the course of 17 years. And I was on a road trip with Blake a number of years ago, driving somewhere to give a health lecture for longevity. And I asked Blake how much money he made in the first year of network marketing, and there was a long, pregnant pause, and I could see the wheels grinding and the smoke coming out of his ears. And I was sure he was calculating in his head, and he was going to tell me something like, $27,000, 832 and 27 cents, or something like that. Instead, he turned around and looked at me with all seriousness. He said, "Doc," he said, "I have no idea. Because I'm still making money 17 years later from the work that I did my first year." And then my head exploded. And that's what happens with longevity. You bring somebody into longevity, if you're a business builder, you bring somebody into longevity, you get paid every time they buy something for the rest of their life. Hardly anybody drops out of longevity because it works. And when you try to price shop and get it cheaper somewhere else, it doesn't work, and so you stick around. Now, if that isn't the most fantastic business model you've ever heard, well, I can't help you. Ladies and gentlemen, join longevity. Get in touch with the person that directed you here. Tell them you want to see the business opportunity. And if you found us of your own accord, go to my website and click on the Join Team Glidden button. Ladies and gentlemen, the future is bright. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Create your own future. Draw what you want to on the blank tablet of your life. Eliminate the past. Put the past in the past. Free up the present. Create your own life through your dreams and your willpower and your daily moment-to-moment actions. It's very, very simple. We have a simple system. All you need to do is follow it. Corey Propp and Sean Fournier followed it, and they just hit executive marketing director rank. Hats off to two of the nicest Albertans I've ever met. Keep up the good work, gentlemen. Your community needs you more than you know. Let's go to California now and see what Madru is up to. Hey, Madru, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Well, good afternoon, Dr. Glidden, and I'm running like a cheetah.
All right, you go, girl.
Hey, listen, I wanted to ask you a question. I went over to a gentleman's house, and he has diabetes. She's got diabetes, and I believe she has fibromyalgia. Yeah. We walked into the house. I'm just going to tell you, this is what I'm seeing when I go into homes. They're actually started something new, a new product that was brought to them. It has to do with swabbing your kind of like a DNA.
Yeah.
And it's a new product, and so he wants to try that. And then I'm observing the children, and one child looks like he's autistic. Well, he is.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and we're talking to him about the nutrients and the opportunity. So he wants to try that. He wants to do this DNA. It's a shake, and they want to try that first. But Lord behold, someone had approached them. They looked in their cabinet. I showed them something. They looked in the cabinet, and they had some longevity products there.
Yeah, and they were unopened and unused, right?
Well, it was open. There were some samples, there were the packets. But I told her to use those, and I told her which one to use because she has diabetes and everything like that. But I wanted her to at least for him, maybe to try the products and her to try the longevity products because she's in a lot of pain, with her joints and everything like that. And then she has the children that she's dealing with too, and they've got some behavior problems too. So, for what I'm experiencing is that I'm going into these homes, and they say that they have something right in front of them. They don't know exactly what longevity brings to the table. And I wanted to maybe if you could explain what a DNA product would do, because I believe a DNA it couldn't rebuild bones or anything like that, and it's something in a child that has some type of deep marking in their brain, in their how they were brought into the world. What's the difference between these two things?
Well, there's a lot of things to talk about here, Madru. You bring up a lot of interesting points. First things first, everybody is sick and everybody is suffering and everybody needs our help. Second thing is, the longer you hang out with longevity, the more of Dr. Wallach's tapes and CDs you listen to, the more of the live events you attend to, the more the radio shows you tune into, the more of the books you read, the more of the webinars that you attend and the live chats that you attend, the more Dr. Glidden insider events that you attend, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Eventually, there's going to come a tipping point where you, in fact, unarguably, just an academic fact, you will know more about how to help people in the face of a chronic disease than their MD who's practicing general practice medicine, even a specialist. You, in fact, will know more, will be more effective in helping people to really and truly, pragmatically generate results by supporting and promoting the structure and function of their body with medical nutrition. So it's only a matter of time until your knowledge exceeds that of any MD in your town. But even though that's ultimately going to be the case, when you, as you, go to your neighbor's house, because you don't have a white coat, because you don't have a stethoscope, because you don't work in a big hospital, because you don't have the letters after your name, because you don't have the social cachet, and because everybody's been brainwashed to believe that you have to have those things first before you can speak the truth, they're not inclined to believe you, even though you're speaking the truth. Kind of like Noah and the ark, right? Spoke the truth,
yeah.
Nobody believed him, everybody dies, right?
Yeah.
A good habit to get into, and this will serve you well. Maybe you're already doing this. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But a good habit to get into when you meet people like this is to say, really, you're doing some genetic stuff? Well, I know the doctor that wrote the book on the genetic relationship between nutrition and disease. If I lend you this DVD, will you listen to it? If I invite you to this webinar, will you watch it? Really, you have fibromyalgia and arthritic stuff? Well, I know a doctor that says you don't have to suffer with that. Right. And he's the leading physician in his field. And if you leave people with information that mm-hmm. they can listen to or access, if you can point people to the professional and let the professional do the talking, you're right. much more...
And I've done that.
Okay. Well, you need to do it more, right? Right? Because this is the thing. People are not going to listen to you. They're not. Right. Not because it's you, but because it's them. It's not personal. It's just human nature, for goodness sake. And so to become more efficient Just get into the habit of lending out the DVDs or lending out the invitations to the webinars, whatever. Now, I'll explain this to you right now, but it'll be much more effective for you moving forward if you get into that habit every single time.
I have a problem getting on the webinars now. I've had a problem for over a month.
Well, nobody else does. Well, I mean, if the problem, it's a new system, so you have to sort that out. You have to figure that out. You have to, lean on us for help, and we'll help you figure it out. There's a couple of people that haven't figured it out yet because it's a brand new system, but the system works most of the time. The system works, and so we have to adapt and change, Madru. Adapt and change, because we changed the format of the webinar system because the old one couldn't handle the volume. We had to come up with a new system to handle greater volume because people are coming to us in droves now. So figure it out, and let us help you figure it out. Okay, so here's the deal. Now, if your son or daughter or, somebody in your family wanted to learn how to play basketball, and you had the choice of, for the same money, of getting Michael Jordan to coach them or their high school basketball coach, who are you going to pick? Well, you're going to pick Michael Jordan because he's the best at it. Well, when you're up against a health issue and you have the choice of somebody else or Dr. Wallach for medical nutrition, you should always lean on Wallach, because nobody in the field, there's no physician on the planet, nobody, who has more clinical experience and more pragmatic research experience than Dr. Wallach. Nobody. Dr. Wallach is the undisputed king of all of that, and that's what I tell people all the time, and that's usually a game changer for people. Dr. Wallach literally wrote the book on medical nutrition, and now he's following that up with a new book that's just been released called Epigenetics, which talks about the relationship between nutrition and genes. So the short story is that your genetic material, the chromosomes in your body, is like a copy machine. And, it's like a copy machine hooked up to a computer. And the computer sends a file to the copy machine, and the copy machine tries to make a copy of it. And if everything's good, then a copy gets spit out. But in order for the copy machine to work, it needs ink and paper. If there isn't any ink or paper, it doesn't matter how good the computer is. It doesn't matter how good the connection is. It doesn't matter how good the wiring is. It doesn't matter how good anything is. The printer can't print the copy without the ink and the paper. Well, your genetic chromosomal material in the body is like a computer and a printer. The nutrition in your body is like the ink and the paper. And in order for your genetic material to express itself, in order for your heart to function the way that nature intended it to, it needs ink and paper. If it doesn't have ink and paper, even though the genetic material may be intact, when the genetic material turns on and tries to do something, it can't do it because there isn't enough ink and there isn't enough paper, and that's the problem with genes. This is the whole theory of epigenetics, that the chromosomal material is intact, but as it tries to express itself and get things done in the body, it needs raw materials. It needs the 90 essential nutrients. It needs zinc and chromium and vanadium and selenium and vitamin A and vitamin B12 and all this other stuff. And if the body does not have it, the genetic stuff cannot express itself appropriately. And when it can't express itself appropriately, people are going to get sick because the body is going to be in disrepair. Now, with stuff that kids are born with actual genetic problems, like autism is a genetic problem, but autism is caused by a deficiency in, printer ink at a certain stage of fetal development. When the fetus was developing at a certain day, week, or month in the mother's body, the mother ran out of ink, and the body couldn't copy that gene and that it, was meant for the lungs or the heart or the kidneys or whatever. And so the child is born with an illness that's baked into the cake. So with birth defects that people are born with that are rooted in genetics, you can't recover from that. You can't recover from Down syndrome. You can't. But what you can do is optimize the body's structure and function moving forward, because the genes don't turn off when you're born. Your chromosomal material is active all of the time, generating new tissue, regenerating tissue, doing stuff biochemically all of the time. And when you're properly nutrified, it expresses itself the way that God and nature intended it to. Now, if it were me and I had to choose between somebody's therapeutics, the intention of which were to support and promote your body's genetic material in expressing itself correctly, or Dr. Wallach's stuff, the intention of which was to support and promote your body's ability to express itself genetically appropriately, I'm going with Wallach every time. Because he's the man. And really, in this regard, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. And take it from me, Madru, even though I'm a naturopathic doctor, it's not everybody in the world that's going to listen to me either. So there's only so much that you can do at any moment in time, right? The sower had good seed, right?
Yes.
So, but as God is my witness, if you simply get into the habit every time of lending the CDs, inviting to a webinar or whatever, your life is going to be a million times easier.
I know that.
Yeah. Does that make sense? All right, girl, I got to move on. The phone lines are jammed. I appreciate you, Madru.
Thank you.
All right, hey, Madru, are you going to be at the conference?
The convention?
Yeah, the convention.
Yes, I am.
Well, you go, girl. Looking forward to putting the name to the face. You're welcome. That's how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's another one of the bonuses, one of the perks of joining Youngevity. It's a community, a worldwide community of like-minded souls, and once a year we get together. A lot of fun, a lot of healings getting done, a lot of good stuff here in Youngevity Nation. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Archie from California is up next. Stick around. Listen very, very, very carefully. You can hear the surge of Youngevity Nation growing all around the world. Let's stick in California and see what Archie's up to. Hey, Archie, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hello, Dr. Glidden. How are you doing today?
Very good, but I'll get better. Thanks for the call. What's up?
Now, I got a quick one for you here. I have my niece has an eye infection. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. It's a chalazion.
Yeah, chalazion, yeah.
Yeah, chalazion. It's on the lower eyelid.
Yeah, that's interesting. Left or right?
It's on her right side.
Okay. She got anything else going on? How old is she?
She's 16.
You don't know whether her menstrual cycle's painful, do you?
No, I could find out.
Yeah. Well, chalazion, a number of things that can be at play here. Usually this is due to some type of increased friction to the or irritation to the mucous membranes in and around the eyes. So what I would do in order to support and promote the structure and function of the eyes in this regard is I would get the colloidal silver, Youngevity's colloidal silver. I would get an eye cup. Go to the pharmacy, get a little eye cup. It's a little oval-shaped thing. And you put 3 or 4 drops or 5 or 6 or 10 drops of the colloidal silver in it, whatever. Put the eye cup up to your eye with the colloidal silver in it, and then, keep it attached to your head and tilt your head back so that the fluid in the cup, the colloidal silver in the cup, is now against your eye. And then you blink with the cup still in place. You blink your eye 6 or 7 times and kind of let the colloidal silver wash in and around the eye. You do that for about 20, 30 seconds, and then you bring your head down, throw the colloidal silver out. I would do that 4 times a day, 4 or 5 times a day, externally. Okay. And internally, of course, it's just the simple Healthy Start Pack and selenium, 1 Healthy Start Pack and 1 selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And I'm going to bet you 25 cents that if you ask her, she's going to tell you that she has really painful really painful periods. Okay. Like, I want to die, I want to stay home, I've missed 2 days of school type of deal. If that's the case, then give her 1 extra bottle of calcium a month, 1 extra bottle of the liquid calcium a month. And just with that condition, you could become a millionaire in Youngevity just helping teenage girls not have painful pregnancies. You could do it because they don't know what to do. It's kind of like a dirty little secret that the majority of teenage girls have, and what do? They do Midol. You know, they do over-the-counter drugs. They'll do oxycodone, right? They'll steal stuff from their parents in order to help manage it, because it's painful. They're not making it up. This is painful, man. And you could do a remarkable amount of work here. And it's a simple calcium deficiency, calcium and magnesium deficiency. You give the body the stuff it needs and the cramps go away. But I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent here. But in any event, man, check it out, Archie. Do the colloidal silver externally and the Healthy Start and selenium internally. And I'll look forward to seeing you at convention. Are you going to be there?
Maybe. I might. It's going to be in Southern California, right?
Yeah. What part of California do you live in?
Near Sacramento.
Oh, yeah. What city?
Actually, it's just outside of Sacramento. It's a small town called Arbuckle.
Arbuckle. I lived up in Grass Valley for almost a year.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's about maybe an hour and a half from here.
Yeah, Grass Valley. That was in 1979. Man, I'm dating myself now.
Really?
I had a really nice time in Grass Valley. That's a beautiful part of the state.
Yeah, it's nice.
Northern California. All right, Archie, you're the greatest, man. Go get them.
All right, thanks, Doc.
Appreciate your phone call. You're welcome. Let's go. Hey, it's California afternoon, apparently. Dora from California is up next with a blood pressure question. Hey, Dora, what's up?
I'm a little nervous, and I hope I do okay.
All right.
When I went to the ear doctor, which my ears are fine, a week ago today, for some reason my blood pressure went way up because I don't take pills, and I don't take blood pressure pill. In the past, it had gone up too, but I never took any blood pressure medicine.
Well, all right, Dora. Now listen, we have a commercial break coming up, but you stick with me, and on the other side of the commercial break, we'll chat more. And you're doing a fine job. You're doing a really excellent job, by the way, and I'll help you understand this right down to the bone. Stick with me, Dora. I appreciate your phone call. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is, you guessed it, Fire Your MD Now.